My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I love the first two Conjuring movies. And a big reason why is the brilliant direction by James Wan. Like, no one crafts a scary movie quite like him. He is the master. So, when I heard he wasn't coming back for this third movie, my excitement just died. And when I first watched it, I didn't really care for it. I thought it was maybe mediocre at best. And then I rewatched it, and I would say it's mediocre. But I just rewatched it again, and I'll bump it up to it's fine. There's enough to like here, but it's still an obvious step down from the first two movies. But let's begin by talking about the cast, and Patrick Wilson does a great job here. He's much more weaker, much more vulnerable in this movie, so that adds some more dramatic weight to his character, and he plays it incredibly well. Vera Farmiga is more of the same, but the same is still very good. And these two characters are still the heart and soul of this franchise. And then we get Eugenie Bordurant as the villain, and I thought she had a menacing presence, even though we don't see her much. John Noble does a pretty decent job. Warori O'Connor does a pretty decent job. Sarah Catherine Hook has so much personality, and she is so charming, and she can bring emotional weight. I just wish she was in this movie more. And Julian Hillard does a perfectly fine job. So the two leads are still really good, but the family this time doesn't stand out as much as the families in the first two movies. They feel more pushed to the background. And I think it's a real shame actually, because the last 2 minutes of this movie where we find out what happened next, I actually think is quite emotional. But the story being told is good. I like how there's still a haunting of sorts, but it's not just isolated to one house. It's more of a murder mystery with a supernatural angle. I like how it focuses more on a cause. I like how there's a defense against someone who killed someone in court. And I like the villain, because the other two movies have supernatural villains, but the villain here is human. And I liked how the movie handled her. She's like an evil version of Lorraine, and all the occult stuff really works in context of this movie. And there's a few standout moments. Like, there's one scene where they go out in the woods to investigate a formal case that I really liked. And there's one scene where Ed discovers that they have been cursed. And that's an effective moment. So there is plenty to like here when it comes to the script. I think visually this movie looks great. It is very well shot, and there is some disturbing imagery. Some of the locations have plenty of atmosphere and can be creepy, but the movie just isn't scary. I've watched this movie 3 times, and not a single moment gets under my skin. Not a single moment gets me on the edge of my seat. Not a single moment gets me to jump. It's just lacking in that scale factor. The movie lacks tension, and the jump scares just feel cheap. And Michael Chavez, I actually do think, did a really great job with The Nun 2, but you can tell that he's still finding his groove here, and hopefully he continues to grow as a filmmaker, but he's not there yet for this movie. I also wish we saw a bit more of the trial as well. We really only get the opening and the closing, and that's it. I feel like that's something that could have helped this movie feel even more fresh. And this movie can be bland, it can be generic, and the way that it exists feels like 10 minutes too long. So, like, this movie definitely isn't a home run, but I do like enough of the story being told. I do like how it's trying to stand out in this franchise. I still like these characters. There is some emotion there. There is some cool visuals. I just wish the script was tidied up a bit. I wish the movie was scarier. And I wish it was just better overall. So I'll give The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It a 6 out of 10. Okay, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.